Long ago, before the world was mapped or the stars were named, there lived a man named Enoch. He was not like the others who tilled the soil or counted their gold. Enoch walked so closely with the divine that the veil between worlds grew thin as smoke. He heard the whispers of the wind and the groans of the earth, sensing a shift in the celestial balance that no one else dared to acknowledge. The shift began with a falling, not of rain, but of fire. 200 beings of light, the Watchers, looked down from the heavens and felt a forbidden longing for the world of men. Led by the defiant Samyaja, they abandoned their sapphire thrones and descended upon the peaks of Mount Hermon, their arrival shaking the very foundations of the mountain. The Watchers did not come in peace. They came as teachers of things never meant for mortal minds. Samyaja shared the secrets of the stars and the movements of the planets, while others whispered the dark arts of enchantment and the boiling of roots. He sat with a woman named Mara, tracing forbidden sigils into the dirt, teaching her how to bend the will of the natural world to her own. The gift of knowledge soon turned into a curse of iron. The Watchers taught men how to pull metal from the deep earth and hammer it into jagged blades and breastplates. Kale and Joran, once simple farmers, now stood over an anvil, their faces blackened by soot and greed, forging weapons that promised power but delivered only blood. The air grew thick with the smoke of 1,000 forges. From the union of the Watchers and the daughters of men, a nightmare was born, the Nephilim. These were giants of staggering height and insatiable hunger. Among them was Titanos, a creature so vast that his footsteps caused the rivers to change their course. He stood as a monument to the world's corruption, a living bridge between the holy and the profane that should never have existed. Enoch watched from the shadows as the world he loved was torn apart. He saw Titanos and the other giants devouring the labors of men, and when the food ran out, they turned their hunger toward the people themselves. The cries of the oppressed rose like a bitter incense to the heavens, and Enoch knew that the forbidden knowledge had brought only a beautiful, glittering death. The divine called Enoch to the highest heavens to witness the judgment. H was shown the prisons of fire where the Watchers would be bound for eternity, and the impending cleansing of the world. Enoch was no longer just a man. He was a scribe of the stars, tasked with recording the sins of the angels and the doom of the giants, his pen moving with a frantic, celestial energy. Then came the great flood. The skies opened not to give life, but to reclaim it. The waters rose over the mountains, swallowing the iron cities and the giants alike. Kale, the warrior who had once felt invincible with his forged blade, now struggled against the dark, churning waves, his heavy armor pulling him down into the cold silence of the deep. For centuries, the scrolls of Enoch were studied, then feared, and finally hidden. In the flickering candlelight of a secret archive, a young scholar named Silas discovered a fragment of the ancient text. The church councils had deemed the book too dangerous, too revealing of the spiritual war that still rages unseen. They wanted a world of simple faith, not one of fallen stars and giant shadows. The Book of Enoch was removed from the sacred canon, buried in the sands and the silence of forgotten caves. Was it to protect us from the darkness, or to keep us from the light? Silas looked out his window at the modern world, wondering if the Watchers were truly gone, or if they were simply waiting. What if the truth was never lost? Just hidden?